As we go later into the night, we're getting more news, and this was something that was not expected. I'm going to be honest, I did not see this news at all. There was something else that came out, another trailer. We'll get to that when we get to that. And yeah, so we're going to talk about this new announcement for something I thought was long buried, and that is the announcement for Pacific Rim: The Final Breach. Pacific Rim: The Final Breach is basically the end of the trilogy, but it's not a movie. It is a comic book that Legendary Studios is putting out under their Legendary Comics line. You see, Pacific Rim had so much potential. It is the peak of wasted potential, if you ask me. It is the embodiment of everything that could have been a great franchise, but shit the bed so hard. It shit the bed so hard, the sheets had to be taken away. That's how bad it was with Pacific Rim Uprising. And honestly, there was not all I really thought. We were going to get a few comics here and there. Pacific Rim: The Black, I do think, however, is the best thing to come out of the franchise since the 2013 movie. If you haven't seen Pacific Rim: The Black over on Netflix, I highly recommend it. It's actually what Pacific Rim Uprising should have been. But I digress. So, Pacific Rim: The Final Breach, like I said, is the comic book finale to the story. And that's what that's the whole idea, is that they're from now, keep in mind this was announced for Kickstarter. Goddamn motherfucking chair, I swear. This basically was announced for Kickstarter, and essentially what it was basically a announcement. That's all it was. And the weird thing is, I'm like, here's one thing I've noticed about Legendary. Why do they keep doing Kickstarters for their comics? I mean, you're Legendary Studios, and you keep doing Kickstarters for these to get backed. Don't you have the money to do this for your own comics? I have heard, though, that their comic line isn't that strong. That's why they need that's why they need the help with the with the Kickstarters. So I don't know what the whole deal is with that. But having said all that, though, it is cool that we are getting a finale that we should have gotten. But it's nice to have an ending for the universe. And hopefully maybe this will start with more comics. My friend Matt Denian is still hoping, and he's still tagging Legendary for a Godzilla vs. Pacific Rim comic. We're basically having the Jaegers and the Monsterverse collide. Which, honestly, I would not be shocked if we did get that in the near future. If that was a comic that we did get in the future, I would be totally down for the idea of having those two universes collide. And I'm surprised they haven't. I think they've proven that they could sell out with Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong. So why not the same thing? Like, why not have that as well? Anyway, so if you guys remember from Pacific Rim Uprising, it took me a moment to remember the ending for that too, where essentially they find out the aliens' homeworld, and now they have a way to send the Jaegers through the breach and to the alien homeworld to fight them on their own turf. And that's such a cool idea that we never got to saw because Pacific Rim Uprising happened. So and not only that, we are also getting the return of the character from the first movie. The one, I cannot remember the act, Charlie Hunnam's character from the first movie, and he's going to be teaming up with John Boyega's character from the second film. So they're basically bringing together all the surviving characters from the two movies and putting them in this comic book. Again, when I saw the news and checked out the Kickstarter, there really wasn't any news other than cover art. There wasn't like what the story is, where the characters lie, what the stakes are. We don't even know what the interior artwork looks like. All they showed was a cover art and be like, "Hey, Kickstarter starting soon. Be ready for that." So I'm just going off of So the plot I just gave of what it could be, could be something totally different. But don't get me wrong, it is cool to see, as much as I hate Pacific Rim Uprising because of how much damage it did to the brand of a franchise that had so much potential, a lot of the other stuff from the Pacific Rim franchise has actually been thriving pretty well, if you ask me. It's been holding its own very well in a lot of cases. So I rather enjoy. So I really am optimistic about this. The one thing I want to know is, are they going to continue with more Pacific Rim comics after this, or are they just going to be like, we're done? Personally, I think like after you do this whole like the end of the trilogy in comic book form, at least it is an ending. That's why I'll give it. Maybe I'll follow with my friend Matt and be like, how about the next big project, Godzilla versus Pacific Rim? That wouldn't be like that would print money. Like that would print legit money. But anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of Pacific Rim: The Final Breach? Are you guys excited for it? Are you guys excited for any new Pacific Rim content? Just comment below, let me know. And also, do you think they should keep doing Pacific Rim comics or whatnot? Or do you think they should just stop after this? Do you think there's enough of that Pacific Rim, like, fandom and drive behind it to continue? Or do you think they should just stop? Anyway, just comment below, let me know. Other than that, hope y'all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.